Namaste, my beautiful queens, kings, um, my beautiful sunshines. I'm gonna do um, a reading which I have done only once in a period of time. I have my channel. The message from other half, the other side, I'm sorry, other half. What is it? Um, you know and you understand that we have the eternal immortal essence. You can call it spirit, you can call it soul, you can call it the right name is essence, because that's your essence. This is what that energy which is the part of the source, or you call it God, source, and that part of that same energy source uh, comes and takes the form of you. Then you live from one life to another, learning lessons, creating, adding something to this world, changing, becoming wiser, kinder, making this world wiser, coming wiser and kinder, becoming somebody's answer, becoming somebody's smile, somebody's inspiration, somebody's lesson. So when this part of us, as I already explained you many times, what is our life? Imagine you are an actor and you work at this theater. When you and in this performance today, you have to perform as Henry the Third, for example. So you come and you are being given a costume. You put your costume, your makeup, your Henry the Third. You coming on stage and you performing as Henry the Third. After the performance over, you give your costume back and you go back home. This is how our life is. Each of our life, we are being given, and we choose our path together with the keepers. We are being given the costume, which is our body, our physical body. We are being given circumstances. So in this life, I am playing this woman. In other thousands of lives I've lived, I've played all kinds of roles, and I've been a peasant, and I've been a queen, and I've been the sorceress, and I've been a slave many times. And it's all these roles are given to us for learning. Each life is another step, each life is another lesson, each life is another going a step up or going step down, until the levels are endless. So when we end this, when the life ends and we give back our costume, this costume physical body, we go back to the level of spirits, different levels of advanced souls, less advanced souls, more advanced souls. So the thing is that the more advanced the soul is, the less it has to come and learn the lessons in this dimension, this particular planet, which is called Gaia or Midgard. But the thing is that usually all people in your life usually from same soul group, so usually it's incarnated in who was your brother can be your best friend. If he was your best friend, then he can become your husband in your next life. We are all intertwined with each other, usually same soul group. Take different roles in your life for your maximum up growing. But very often what happens if someone who you loved a lot deeply has left your physical life? Probably it could be your mother. Some of you wrote me you lost your mother recently, and it was, to me, I'm not trying to be mean here. No, like I just read this girl wrote me a comment, and I just recently lost my mother. And to me, I'm thinking, why are you saying you lost her? Because the thing is that her mother is with her. So what happens is her mother chooses this role of so-called you can call it guardian angel or a keeper. So she her essence stays with her daughter in this life and guards her. So she says, I lost my mother, and I see that spirit right there, like standing behind her, and kind of like if she had wings, covering her with those wings. So you think you lost somebody, but in fact you didn't lose anybody. You cannot lose absolutely nobody. One of my guides and one of my keepers is a woman who in this life is not related to me anyhow, but related to my twin flame. And she's one of the guides and one of the strongest guides and keepers, actually, who had been watching me for years and years, especially the last 5 years. So if someone leaves this dimension, please understand, it doesn't mean they are gone. No one is gone nowhere, girls, boys. You cannot lose anybody. Death does not exist, but there could be variations. If that someone could be your mother, your father, your grandma, your grandpa, if that someone was a very much advanced soul, it means it's going to be quite a bit of time until they come and incarnate in this world again. At the same time, this is just one of billions of planets. You don't have to usually incarnate here. It's just the toughest school. This is the toughest school probably in 8,000 nearby galaxies, our planet, our dimension. It's like a school. One life here is counted as 100 life in some else where life is much easier. So if you if someone left your 3D dimension, it could be two variations. First, this spirit, this soul, this essence is now in the dimension of spirits. And when you are in dimension of spirits, it's interesting that you can be at the same time in multiple places. It's very difficult to explain. I will not go into it. But anyway, that's someone still connected to you and still watches over you and still hears you and knows everything what's going on. The thing is that they rarely interfere. You have to understand that no guides, keepers, they rarely interfere. You gotta do your things. They can give you signs. They can point you to the right directions, but it's you who does something or doesn't do something. So you're someone who had been gone, could be now in the levels of spirits. It means that if they need to tell you something through me, they will tell you something. Or you can simply call them in your thoughts and they will talk to you or give you a sign. But if that's someone who you lost from this dimension, now incarnated again, for example, you lost your grandma and she is now a 4-year-old girl, still part of that subconscious, part of the essence of that 4-year-old girl still connected to you, and still you can receive the message from her ancient, immortal, eternal essence. So whether they are in the level of spirits or they are living now again, you can receive that message from them. And this is a very energetically very difficult to connect, because it's easy for me to connect with if I talk to one of you, and it's easy to connect with spirits who are near you because I just see them. Sometimes they show me pictures. For example, I'm reading for a woman, her husband and her situation, and suddenly I see a woman walking through the fields with beautiful yellow wildflowers, and I tell her, who is the woman who loves wild flowers, and it's like a field, it's like a countryside. Is that someone? Is that your mother? Is it looks like? And she started to cry. She didn't even ask me. She didn't even, there was a reading about her relationship, but this way, if I see it, so she was in pain for so long that she lost her mother. But I say, why you need to be in pain? Because this is this, she's right there, and she likes this and this, and she likes this color, and she likes this flower. Now she tells you this and this. So you see, you don't lose anybody. You don't ever lose anybody. You are always, if you loved somebody, if they were in your life, you can't lose them. Girls, boys, please just understand it. Death just doesn't exist. It's just you leave this one dimension, you go to another dimension, another level, you change the form, you come here, you come there. You constantly, you will know each other, you will recognize each other, you will cross paths again. You cannot ever lose anybody. Nobody loses nobody. We all are constantly connected. So the message from those who you want to receive message from, think about that person. I will only do 3 cards because I literally, it would be much too difficult for me to do more than 3. So message from the one who is no longer in physical world with you. You want to hear, there is one already, you want to hear that message. For those of you especially who lost someone in female, mother, grandmother, sister, someone as a woman star. Okay, number 1, card number 1, card number 2. Interesting. I'm gonna put it like this. Wheel of Fortune. Look at the major arcana. So of course I only can do 3 cards. And the 8 of Swords. Card number 1, card number 2, card number 3. So we're gonna go and get your message. Number 1, the Star. So the one who you were asking, who you're receiving this message from, is a very advanced soul who does not incarnate very often. And if this soul does incarnate, it usually for a very important goals and important reasons. What is the message? You want something what is so far unachievable for you. You think it's unachievable. Ask yourself if you really want it. Stop thinking about things that they start and they end. Nothing starts and nothing ends. Everything just continues. Your journey of this life had been blessed, and you are being led by this light which is eternal. You have been through something which shook your world, but that what shook your world also shook your old paradigm. Do not be attached too much to material things. Know it and see it clearly that one life, it's like a blink of the eye. Do not be attached to material things. Don't hold on to them. Don't refuse from what you really want, from what your heart really desires, from what your heart really wants, because of the fear of losing some material things. The test is coming to you, or is you are going through now. The dark night of the soul, the dark night comes, the darkest night comes before the sun light. Sun comes after the darkest night. Stop thinking you're being punished. Stop thinking you're being dragged through tests so you can hurt or you can suffer. After the heaviest rain comes the rainbow. Spirit is eternal and immortal. Star inside of you, light inside of you, you need to let it shine. You possess inner light and wisdom. But you started to lose hope. And you started to doubt that everything's going to be beautiful. Everything is going to be beautiful only under one circumstance. If you follow your true call, your star, which is shining above your head. You're pure, spontaneous. You want to save everybody and to heal everybody. But you have come here to support the work of the warriors of light. Stop running away from it. You cannot stay in the old world, living by the old rules, by the old paradigm. The star is calling. The star is blessing you. The star tells you, you know who you are. You know why you have come. You know what you need to do. You've got the answers. You've got the wisdom. Do not repeat old mistakes. Some of you will receive a lot of power over people. Use it as light, not as dark. If you ever go against yourself, you're gonna pay a price. Remember, you understand how this world is created. Look at the birds. They don't think how they're gonna live tomorrow. They follow their own nature. They sing and they fly, knowing that somehow tomorrow they will sing and fly again. You are the light, and you are the heavenly love and kindness. You carry the spiritual light to everyone who crosses the path with you. Be reborn. Be rebuilt. Break down the old and build something much more beautiful. That crisis was necessary for you to see who you are and to start your healing. Fears don't belong with you. Doubts don't belong with you. Your light can shine in the darkness. Didn't say everything. Could be talking for an hour. A lot of information comes through this card. Please connect with the spirit who you are connecting. Through the dreams, through the cards, through visions, the spirit will tell you more. Excuse me. Number 2, again, Major Arcana, Wheel of Fortune. How many of you are dealing with Wheel of Fortune now? There is this very old curse, Chinese curse. I wish you to live in the time of changes. You need to realize now, nothing stays the same. Things must be destroyed in order to be created. Universe getting destroyed and created. The balance you can find deep inside. But sometimes you have to obey the power of the destiny. If you are in a situation, child, where you're running away from your destiny, you have to understand that you can't. You can't run away from a destiny. And you can't stop the spring from coming. You can't explain logically everything what is happening. You don't have power of some things. The wheel is turning. The time is changing. Everything is changing. Even if you try to prevent those changes, even if everything is screaming to you, leave it. Go. Leave the dead horse. Don't try to resurrect it. Leave it and go forward. Leave it and go forward. You need to start a new circle of your life. You have to accept what you have to accept. But you have to embrace what you have to embrace. You have come with a mission into this life, with the call, which you haven't realized yet, because you are relying on ratio. You're trying to be logical. You're trying to do what is right, but what is right is being told to you. You forgot that you are a favorite of the goddess of a fortune. The destiny will be turning towards you, offering you the new. Will you take it? Because if you become a coward and not take it, you are going to fail. If you're going to grab onto the old, trying to hold what needs to be let go, you are going to fail. You can't control what other people feel or what other people do. But you can follow your own calling, your own fortune. Be a builder of your own fortune. Why you think you are powerless? You're not powerless. If you want to start a fire, put the wood together and bring the matches. What you want to have, you can have if you put actions to it. Stop being powerless before people, before circumstances, before the destiny. Become strong. Become independent. Don't regress. Progress. Everything is changing. Nothing stays the same. Allow this transformation happen to you and become a destiny. You think the world fell apart, everything you're used to is no longer there. It fell apart so you could create a different world. And those four mystical beings will help you remember those signs: Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, the cross of zodiac. Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius. Those signs will find you the way, and a symbol of you are a sphinx. You cannot be destroyed. You can only become stronger. Number 3, 8 of Swords. Who put you in that? Who dared? Who dared to make you a prisoner? How do you dare to be a prisoner? I am angry. Angry because you let it happen to you. How did you let it happen to you? What are you waiting for? The knight in shining armor coming save you. You are the one who must save you. It's painful to look at you. It's painful to see you are not spreading your wings and fly. You said that you are a victim of your life, of your past, of your pains, of your wounds. You don't see the way out. You want somebody to come and save you. Well, you have the powers. You have the powers to save you. Nobody will come to rescue you. Nobody will. You have to rescue you and the others. You put the glass wall between yourself and the world. You smile to people while there is pain and ash inside of you. You're giving yourself excuses that you have no powers of changing anything. But you got the power to change everything. And you tell yourself, yes, I want, but I can't. Well, you think that you can't, then you can't. But if you start thinking that you can, then you can. You think you are powerless. You think you are locked in a prison. People, rules, circumstances, golden cage some of you are having. What is the point to be in a cage, even if it's golden? Stability, income, whatever. Remember who you are. You forgot. You think you're nothing, nobody, and you forgot who you are. Wake up, because it's a tragedy that a phoenix is in a cage. You can melt that cage with your own will, with your own eyes, with your own thoughts. But you stopped developing, stopped transforming, you stopped. You became an ash and you don't want to rise from that ash. You got to rise it. No one will make you rise. You have to rise it. You have to rise it. You have to rise it. You hear me? No one will come and rescue you. because you are given the power not just to rescue yourself, but to rescue everybody else. And you are playing a victim who was brought to the altar of a destiny. Open your eyes. Wake up. Remember who you are. Remember your strength. Remember your powers. You were the one leading the armies. You were the one standing with a sword above your head. You were the one who were the queen, which legends are spread all over the earth up to today. Remember who you are. Well, you better rise, because you possess extreme inner powers and gifts, which it's like you are having a sword in your hand to protect yourself, but everyone is throwing rocks to you and dirt, and you just allow it to happen. The spirits, the guides, and the one giving you the message is not happy about it. Rise and shine. I hope it was helpful, my queens. Namaste.